One statement that summarizes my life.
Till this moment.
That's a big question. I don't know how to answer what summarizes my life. I think what I have embodied and is important, has been important to me, is like this sort of go for it stance. The maybe getting out of my comfort zone.
Getting out of it.
Constantly pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
Go for it and get out of your comfort zone. That's the lesson that we're going to leave our listeners. It's so poetic, like how mentors can really shape us in the journeys that we're on. If we were to come to almost like the third stage now, which is it's time to now raise the next set of leadership in the coaching world. Marshall, you're like epitomes of what success might look like. What do you think your role is as you grow the next front line of leaders in the coaching industry and beyond?
Hopefully inspire others, like through things like your podcast and, other ways that I can sort of get in front of other people to inspire them and to recognize that they have a big difference to make, and, to share my story of making a difference and to encourage other people.
Beautiful. If the 90-year-old Alisa were to come back and have this conversation with you right now, how would she be looking at you and what would she be saying?
Well, I'm sure, first of all, you say, what would she be saying? But again, one day I'm going to meet that 90-year-old self. Do not forget, we all are, more or less, right? I think that she would say, you did it, which is really meaningful.
You did it. This word, as we're kind of coming to that closing stage, this word legacy has been something that I've always played with, wanting to build one or not being concerned about it, being attached to it, being detached to it. How does that resonate with you, the word legacy?
I don't think much about legacy. It's a big word for Marshall. I'm not sure if I'm old enough yet to think about legacy, right, per se, but I do think about impact. And so for me, it's always about having impact on others. So I appreciate that, you reached out to me because you knew me on LinkedIn. I appreciate that. By the way, the reason I'm like, sure, I'll do your podcast is because you're so kind about constantly commenting on my posts on LinkedIn. And I thought, well, you're really, you're putting out good things in the world and you're putting out good energy. And I want to be amplifying good energy. And so I guess I would say I think much more about impact of people who I've touched. Mm-hmm. And that is very rewarding. Through my newsletter, through my book, it's really rewarding when someone you didn't know, like your friends, you say, oh, they read their book, right? My boyfriend, oh, I read your book, of course, right? But people who I don't know, and they say, I read your book, it made me feel great, I loved it so much. It was like this and that. It's so meaningful, right? That I had an impact there and then on that person.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do.
Powerful. And that impact to me, it's like, it's ripple effects, right? Because when you coach founders, how they then operate with their people and how they do things differently with their people, that then ultimately leads to a deeper impact across civilizations and generations and cultures and whatnot. This is so beautiful. I'm really enjoying this conversation and thank you. And when you were saying, I think what's important for us is to really sow the seeds in the universe and let them then thrive. Because for me, it's important, people like you and others that I want to connect with and follow. I think there's so much to learn that having this time with you is like precious to me. So thank you for saying yes to the podcast. As we move towards the closing, so to say, what is that one big project, Alisa, that you feel that I still have to make it happen? And if I don't, then it'll be like, why didn't I focus on that?
I don't have an answer for that. I've been thinking a lot about where does my creativity get devoted to right now? And I don't necessarily know. I think that's a mystery that I'm still, as Rilke says, living the question.
And so you're creating that space where the idea will conceive and grow and take beyond. Beautiful, beautiful. If you were to synthesize your life till now, and there's more till you get to meet the 90-year-old, what would be one sentence, one quotation? What's that one statement that you feel summarizes it?
One statement that summarizes my life.
Till this moment.
That's a big question. I don't know how to answer what summarizes my life. I think what I have embodied and is important, has been important to me, is like this sort of go for it stance. The maybe getting out of my comfort zone,
Getting out of your
constantly pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
So go for it and get out of your comfort zone. That's the lesson that we're going to leave our listeners. Thank you so much, Alisa. I truly appreciate the conversation that we've had today. I think there are gems and diamonds and lessons that people could take out of it. If you've not read the book yet, I highly recommend reading this book. If you're a founder, if you're
From
doing
startup to grown up.
absolutely,
From startup to grown up.
to grown up. And remember, the work is in you. I think this is beautiful. All the links will be in the show notes. You don't have to worry about that. So we can follow Alisa. We can look at her newsletter and follow her on LinkedIn. It's some amazing content that she's putting out there in the world. And it was a joy to have you, Alisa. And any thoughts before we
Well, just thank you so much. So enjoyed the conversation, and I really wish you great luck on your podcast. You have a lot to contribute to the world.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching this clip. If this was of value, then you would love this full podcast episode with the guest that you just saw. I'm just putting this link somewhere left or right of me that you should just click on and watch the full episode. We talk about deep ideas, insights about life, leadership, you as an individual, and you as a professional in this beautiful yet so chaotic world of ours.